ever been let down or betrayed? Maybe by a friend or someone in your family? Today is about the betrayal of Jesus and how not one but two of his closest friends let him down. Now, the Jews had been looking to silence Jesus for ages. And when the Palm Sunday procession happened, they said, "Enough is enough, we need to get rid of him." Meanwhile, Judas had gone to one of the local priests and agreed to hand Jesus in for 30 pieces of silver. That's the price of a slave. Why? We don't know. Maybe for money. Maybe because he was angry at Jesus' pacifism when they tried to overthrow Rome with force. We don't know how the devil twisted Judas's thinking. This was after the Passover meal, and Jesus was upset, so he went away to pray. Then Judas and a large crowd entered the garden where Jesus was praying. Judas walked up to Jesus, and Jesus said, "Are you going to betray me with a kiss?" Now, Jesus knew that Judas would betray him, and yet he still spoke kindly and calmly to him. He didn't wither him like that fig tree. Now, Peter also betrayed Jesus. He was recognized 3 times as a disciple in the temple court, and he said, "No way." He then went on swearing, "I've never met the man. I don't know Jesus." Then the cock crowed, and Peter was reminded about what Jesus had said about the fact that he would let him down. You know, the strange thing is, Jesus knew Peter would let him down, and yet he still loved him. He still forgave him. How can anyone love that much?
They all carried their crosses up this hill, just like this, to the place called the Skull. Pilate had sentenced Jesus to death, even though he could find nothing wrong with him, nothing to charge him with. At worst, he was a delusional fanatic. At best, well, maybe he was someone special. They nailed him to a cross between 2 criminals, on his left and his right. Them Romans, they're very good at executions. Maximum suffering and pain and humiliation. There was a crowd around and they jeered and they mocked him. They said, "You saved others, save yourself." But Jesus looked at them and said, "Father, forgive them, they don't know what they're doing." It was about noon, and suddenly it got dark. And that lasted till like 3 o'clock. The sun had stopped shining, and then the earth shook. And it all quaked. And I heard the temple curtain was torn in 2, from top right to bottom. And then Jesus called out in a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." And then he died. Just like that. Well, they stuck a spear in his side just to make sure he was dead. And he was dead all right. The Roman centurion, on duty that day, he said, "This isn't right. This isn't how crucifixions are supposed to go." It was as if Jesus was in charge of his life, not the Romans. He must have been a good man, innocent. And then we all left. There was no reason to stay. It's just a shame.
did it all go so wrong? I was with Jesus since the beginning, when he was teaching by the shore in a boat. He helped so many people. He made them well. He listened to their concerns. He gave me purpose and meaning to my life, like it mattered, like I mattered. But I guess I don't matter now. He's gone. And I don't even understand. Why did they let him do this? Why did he let us all down? He could have wowed those leaders. He could have shown them his real power, like we saw on the lake in the storm, or when he just spoke and demons ran away, or how he just touched the man with leprosy and his skin got better instantly. He could have done a few miracles for the Jewish council. Then they'd have believed him. Or he could have called down attack angels and taken out the Romans. Or he could have flown from the cross. I'm sure he couldn't he? Once, his friend Lazarus was sick, really sick, and he died. Jesus was so upset, he was sobbing outside the tomb. But then he told them to roll the stone away. And he simply said, "Lazarus, come out." And he did. He was all wrapped in for burial. But when the clothes came off, he was well, better than ever. He wasn't a zombie. Jesus said then, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me will never die." But then he did die. Shame. There's no one who can do that for Jesus. Who can roll the stone away and tell him to get up? Who else is there?
He's risen! He's risen!
He's alive!
Yes!
It was early this morning. Mary and me and some of the other women, we were heading out to the tomb. Our plan was to anoint Jesus' body with spices because we hadn't been able to do that because of the Sabbath. And we were heading on our way there, and Mary was fretting about the stone and who was going to roll it away. It was so heavy. And I was thinking more about the soldiers, the Roman guards they'd posted. Would they even let us in? Would they even let us near Jesus? Anyway, we got there and it had gone. The stone had gone. It had been rolled clean away. So we went straight in and Jesus' body gone. I mean, gone. So we were terrified and scared and crying and distraught. And what had happened? Someone had taken his body, someone had stolen it. What were they going to do without Jesus? And we were outside. And then suddenly, there was this blinding light. It was dazzling. And there were these two guys in white. I mean, they were so bright. And they were stood there right in front of us. We couldn't say anything. I mean, we were literally, it was terrifying. And they said, "Why are you here? Why are you looking for the living among the dead? Jesus isn't here. He's alive."
It's true! It's true! The women came and told me, and I thought they were mad, overcome with grief. But I ran out and I saw the tomb. It was empty. He'd really done it. He's alive. Mary even saw him. She saw him in the garden. She thought he was the gardener. And then he said her name, Mary. And she knew. And he told her that he was going to his Father God, and that he'd come back. He's coming back. He's really, really done it. He's defeated death. The tomb is empty. He's made a new contract with God that brings us back to the Father forever.
He's alive!
The tomb is empty. He is risen.